Yeah, I think a lot of clinicians and educators
Yeah,
use a lot of Likert scales in evaluating our trainees, so we're very used to that
yeah,
tool, and so I think people will find comfort in using
right.
a scale that makes sense to them. So
Speaking of the comfort of using the tool, do you mind sort of walk through us with how exactly people could use this tool, Shreya?
This is the BrainX website. So here is the tab, HumanELY. So clicking on this, there is some description of the tool, and then going to this tab, and here we are on at the HumanELY tool page. And so here are a few tabs that can help you understand what and how to use HumanELY. So this how to use tab will walk you through all the steps that needs to be done to evaluate your data. And then we have also provided a sample data that users can download and prepare their own data set keeping this sample data in reference. And then here is the paper, and we also provide a tab to provide feedback, and we do welcome feedbacks from people, so they can provide comments and add stars. I'll walk you through the sample data first. So I have downloaded it here. As you can see here, we have two columns, and the first column is for the reference data, which is the actual data, and then the second column, this one, would be the generated text, which is from the LLM. And we have this sample data, and we let the users decide what would be their data set, and they can prepare their data set from any LLM model that they want to use, and prepare the data set accordingly. And here, as you can, so this one should be a CSV file, and there has to be no row names or column names in the data set. And I would suggest that they keep their each entry in the data to be within the codes, so that the tool can identify the cells. I'll go back to the tool now.
So sure, can I just ask a question about that? So if, for example, I'm using ChatGPT is what I want to evaluate on a specific topic and I've asked it 10 questions, then I have to put in the 10 reference answers that I think are the truth on the left in the 10 kind of squares, and then put in ChatGPT's responses to each of those in the cells beside it. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So the first column has to be the reference with which you are comparing your generated text.
Okay.
And yeah. So then moving on to using the tool, we have provided this LLM name tab where they can enter the LLM domain or model type that they used. And then they can upload the file here. This is the sample file that I just showed. And after uploading it, as you can see, this table fills up. So actually, this was these were the two columns that I was talking about: reference text and the generated text. And then the user can click on any row that they want to evaluate first. On selecting this row, the first row that I selected, the reference and generated text shows up here in more detailed manner. So so it becomes easier for the evaluator to read the text easily. And then moving on, here are the 5 metrics that Raghav just talked about: relevance, and then there are comprehensive questions related to the particular metric, and the evaluator can mark between 1 to 5. And so let's say I just mark this And we also provide a clear all tab. So let's say the evaluator in between decides that all these markings that they just marked as what they want to evaluate again, and then they can clear them all and redo it. And after evaluating all these matrices, finally they can submit the scores. So it says that the evaluation completed for row 1, and then they can go back to the table, and as you can see, the status for this first particular row changed to done. And then they can do the similar step for second row, and then the third row, and so on. So finally, when all the evaluations are done, they can just compile all the scores. So it says compilation done, and then they can download the scores that they just evaluated. So finally, a CSV or Excel file, whichever format they want, they can download the file with which will have all the these reference and generated text and all the scores that the evaluator just gave to all these entries. And so I can show the CSV file here.
And Shreya, do you have to answer all of the questions within all the 5 categories for you to submit the score, or can you just answer some of them in each category?
So yeah, we have provided the flexibility to the evaluator that they can skip the question if the question seems irrelevant to the LLM model that they are evaluating. They can just skip the question, and that final metrics that they will download will have NA for that particular question.
Absolutely. Thank you for the walkthrough. Just out of curiosity, is there a way to sort of hide which one is reference and which one is generated text? Because I know some researchers would be interested in doing, sort of a anonymous evaluation without actually knowing which one is sort of LM generated.
No, we have kept both reference and generated, but they can, when they prepare the dataset, they can leave the reference text empty or blank. So they'll have that anonymity maintained.
Just a follow-up question on sort of on regular sort of clinicians or people who's interested to use this tool. How do you see this tool gets integrated within their workflow? Let's take the example of the GPT store that just came out. I know a lot of people are interested to evaluate the tools on it, but they don't have a trusted tool to sort of facilitate that evaluation. How would you recommend people use this HumanELY tool and integrate it within their workflow of evaluating, let's say, GPT store outputs?
For majority of domains, what we feel is the privacy concern is important, and that's why we have deployed our model on Google Cloud. So it will. So we actually don't keep the data set with ourselves. Any data that is uploaded on our tool is erased when the session is closed, and so we don't have any data, and we make sure that there is no leakage of the data set that the user uploads. So it right now, keeping that in mind, we would not let this to be integrated with any other platform, and maybe we can come up with some flexibility of that sort in future.
Yeah, and just a follow-up question for Dr. Martha. Do you have any sort of suggestions or recommendations for people that are trying to use this tool? Sort of what do they have to be aiming for, and what do they have to be careful about when using this tool?
So look, when you look at how human evaluation is currently being done, everybody ends up making their own survey tool. That's just the reality. And then they end up using some of the Likert scale. Now, what we have done over here is to make it easy for you to use it because you already pre-built it. The other thing that as she was sharing was, as you scroll down, the reference and the generic text moves with you. So it's easy for you. So you don't have to go back and forth. It moves with you. And for analysis of the results, we again provided to you in a CSV format so that you can then quantify it and then can further do analysis in a quantifiable manner. Because what happens otherwise is you're getting these answers using all these different kind of tools. And sometimes people are doing them in Excel, sometimes they're doing it in Word, sometimes they're doing it all different formats. And then it's hard to do efficient evaluation consistently. So one of the big focuses for us was, let's make a tool that is generalizable, that people are familiar with from every spectrum of life, not just healthcare. Every computational scientist understands like a scale. Everybody understands it's easy to understand, replicate, and use. And then also have the data uploading and downloading in formats that people commonly use and are more comfortable with. The key idea was to make sure we facilitate human evaluation in the best possible manner. And I hope that this is our effort towards that people love to use. And we are happy to incorporate feedback, just like Shreya said, to come up with version 2 or 3. We are also right now doing further analysis. We're also looking to test this out, give it in hands of various different researchers so that they can test this tool out. And through that, we can adapt it for various different purposes in the future, just like some of the questions you had asked. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to demonstrate it too.